And hello, Clash Royale Radio listeners. Guys, this episode is going to be a little bit different. We will talk about the Clash Royale work in progress, balance changes, and stuff like that. But after that, the last segment is going to be a little bit more strong language, not cussing or anything like that. But Caleb and I will share our testimonies. So yeah, it's going to be pretty strong. I would not advise for a younger audience. But we're going to keep it real, and hope you guys enjoy, and let us know what you guys think of our testimonies. So, hope you enjoy.
You're listening to Clash Royale Radio with Dylan and Caleb in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to Clash Royale Radio, episode number 69. I am your host, Dylan.
And I am your co-host, Caleb.
And guys, this week we're going to be talking about possibly a new hero or Evo, and then we got work in progress balance changes, lots to talk about there, and we got a brand new segment that Caleb and I have been spiritly led, as you would say. It's called Real Talk, and in this episode we're in Real Talk, which will be at the end of the episode, I guess. We're going to be talking about our testimony, how we became Christians, how we became born again. Believe in Christ and following him now. So that was probably close to 6 years ago. It's probably more than that. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
It was close to 7 or 8.
2019, I think it got saved, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I calculated it.
I was looking through a lot of comments like back in the day, and there was a few of you guys listening that were like, we would love to hear you guys talk about more Christianity stuff. So I was like, you know what? And Caleb and I prayed about it, and I think we're going to do it in this episode. We're not ashamed. We're not ashamed of Christ. We are going to use the platform that God, handed over us. God created us to have this platform, and we love video games, and we also definitely love Christ. So, we're going to express that in this episode at the very end. So we're pretty excited about that.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you guys stay around.
Yeah, definitely.
But real quick, before we get started, make sure you guys join the Discord. Everything will be at the show notes below. All you have to do is go down there, check it out, YouTube, just everything. Discord is one of my favorite platforms, I would say, because you guys can connect with us and connect with the whole community around Clash Royale. And we can help you out with decks, we do tournaments, whatever. So just check us out there. But Caleb, let's go in real quick before we get into the work in progress balance changes. We got some Clash news. This has been going on for a couple of days. So Clash Royale tweeted, or I guess X, or posted on X, she had enough. If you look at this little post, it looks like the Berserker. So we're looking like the Berserker is going to have an Evo or hero, possibly.
Dylan. Rachel's in puberty.
Oh, okay. Maybe she's getting married, or maybe she's pregnant, because if you look at the next post, it says she's
like 13.
Okay, true. I don't know. That's true. But then it says, looking elite as usual is the next post, and it's the elite barbs. So I don't, sometimes they post weird stuff like art like this. So I don't know if this is just art they're just expressing, or is this actually something like they're maybe getting an Evo or something? Yeah. If you do look at the mirror, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. But then today, which is Saturday, they posted this spin to win, and it's some sort of axe of some sort.
Goodness. Dylan, no. Go back to the elite. Go back to that elite picture and look at the flipping mirror. If you look closely at his wrist, it's purple.
Right, but if you look at his wrist on him right now without looking in the mirror, it is a little purple.
No, it's not. Not as purple.
I guess, true.
Not as purple and gold. Like, get your face close to that, because I had to get my face close to it.
And his sword has like a purple glare too, so...
No. The sword is different. look at the handle on the bottom. It extended down. If you look at his hand.
Oh, true. Okay.
Right now.
Oh, yeah.
Down.
Okay.
This is a spear. The freaking things are going to throw a freaking spear.
Maybe.
Oh my stars! If they throw spears and if they hit air, this is stupid.
I don't know, man. So
it's
yeah,
cool at this
we
time.
could be seeing elite barbarians get something, and definitely looking like Berserker's going to get something as well. So just wanted to point that out.
I think Berserker. We could be looking at a hero evolution or both evolution.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. Let's take a look at the Berserker. I don't think Berserker had anything purple. So that's very interesting.
No, yeah. The Berserker, it was hard to see. Berserker was just like faded, but you can see the outline of her, so that's the only thing you can see. But
the elite barbarians really look promising for evolution because like that's the
way you see the little purple. Yeah, I agree.
So, but the Berserker, we could be seeing a hero definitely. Yeah. I can see her hitting an ability. She changes into a bear because that's what it looks like. It looks like a flipping grizzly bear.
Yeah.
She's in a cave.
Yeah.
What's in cave true. Is in the middle of the mountain.
That's true.
It's wintry out there.
Yeah.
So hibernation.
Never know. You never know. But all right, guys, we're going to be talking about the work in progress balance changes. And Caleb, I'm super, super excited because I really wanted to tell you. I was like, you know what? Let's just save it for the podcast because this stuff is just absolutely crazy. And it's not just the work in progress balance changes, guys. We got special Clash Royale balance changes. And on top of that, you got work in progress balance changes. So we're going to go over this special because that's more special anyway. Just want to point out, guys, I'm probably going to say this again here in a little bit, but I really do think Clash Royale, like the balance team, is on a new level, like in a good way. This is, in my opinion, one of the best I've ever seen balance changes. Now, I know this is work in progress, and they're going to take a lot of the community feedback and stuff. So anyway, let's talk about the spirits. So let me scroll down here. So they said, so the balance changes for the next season of Clash Royale will be the biggest ever. And over a dozen reworks. Yeah, it was like 22 or something like that. But they're going to be looking at the spirits are going to have a nerf. Hero and champions are going to have changes. They're going to have experimental reworks, and obviously they will have some bug fixes and stuff. So spirits getting a nerf. This is arguably the biggest change in terms of meta. So spirits have become the essential part of decks for many seasons. I would say for many years. And it's going to get a nerf. And this is a nerf. You get to have two options. So regardless, this nerf will make it to where spirits will not get to the tower by themselves. So you cannot pressure with spirits no more. And here's option one. They're going to lower the HP. So the tower will kill it before it get there. Or option two, they're from very fast to fast. So they're going to make them just a hair slower to where it's going to give the tower more time to get more shots in. Which, in my opinion, I think that's the way I would go, because that way you don't... Because like there's some interactions, I'm pretty sure, to where some spirits won't get one-shotted with like a musketeer. It'll still jump. Mm-hmm. Now, if you change their HP, that might change some interactions. So I would much rather them be slow than having less HP, my opinion.
I agree.
But that's going to happen. And we just don't know which option they're going to pick. They're going to lower their HP or lower their speed, their movement. So, dude, what do you think about that? That's insane.
I love that. Spirits, like, I never would have thought spirits would be a problem, but it was always annoying that they would hit his tower and they would do little damage. Like, it wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right? But it was annoying. Like, whenever fire, like the furnace came out and it would just pop in furnaces like it was pregnant or something.
Yeah.
Like, that was annoying because you had to deal some with it because it dealt a lot of damage, right?
Yep.
And I think this also brings more strategy just a little bit into it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like it.
And this is what their option one, this is what they said. Having less HP means the spirits will get one-shotted by enemies like archers, Archer Queen, the Bomber would one-shot, Musketeer, and Tesla. So those will get one-shotted. Now, if they reduce their speed, reducing the speed mainly harms the capacity of spirits and dodging projectiles. So yeah, they'll just be cleaner. They will, like I said, the tower will be able to kill or have more shots on the spirits and won't get on the tower from their movement speed being as slow. So yeah, and then they kind of look down. Electric Spirit, 20% in the top 1,000 is being played. Ice Spirit, 16%. Fire Spirit, 11%. So they're just in a lot of decks. So, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it to where I'm trying to figure out where I read that. Oh, here we go. So nerf reasons. This is their reasons for the spirits. We all agree that spirits are popular, but do they need a nerf? Question mark. This is why Supercell thinks they do. They are replacing spells and support cards in decks. I agree. They provide a lot of value for one elixir. I agree. They can chip away at crown towers. Very annoying. And then this is probably the biggest. They can contribute to constant pressure with low risk. And I agree. You just throw a spirit on the bridge. They have to do something unless they're going to take 150 to 200 damage. I mean,
yep.
So, yeah, this is really cool.
I really like that a lot because I feel like a lot of times, when they first hit your tower, when you let it go and stuff like that, it's not a whole lot of skilled. But when if someone does a really good push, and then all of a sudden they knock off 1,400 on your tower, now every piece of damage counts. So every time they do release a Fire Spirit at the bridge, just nonchalant, and it's a quick cycle deck, so that way they can quickly cycle and stuff like that. It does count after that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If that all makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I really like that. This does. I feel like I don't know if it will take away from quick cycle decks or not, because
no, I mean they're still going to be viable. They're going to be they're still going to be good cycle cards and stuff like that, and they're going to still have their defensive purpose.
Exactly.
They're just not going to be heavily pressury, I guess. You throw it at the bridge and it's not going to hit the tower. So, it's just going to be more defensively instead of more pressury, I guess. So, all right, let's go on to the next subject, and it's heroes and champions. So it's simple. So they are going to take their abilities and they're going to be removing the cooldowns. And they're going to buff the weaker champions. So, removing the cooldowns. We don't believe ability cooldowns add enough meaningful gameplay to justify their complexity. As a result, all abilities except the Boss Bandit, which that makes sense because it has 2, those abilities was designed for rapid consecutive. So now they're going to have a single use. So the Archer Queen, it's going to be a single use. You won't see another ability. You know what I mean? All the heroes, I'm pretty sure all the heroes are not going to have a cooldown. Let's see. This changes effects 18 of the 14 heroes and 7 of the 8 champions. So there is some heroes that do have cooldowns, but most of them will not have. It'll just be a one-time use.
I think the Little Prince is a one-time use, isn't it?
Yes. So, okay, here's the champions, guys. Well, it's all the champions except for the Boss Bandit, which makes sense because she has a double, flank thing. And it's a one-time use too. Once you use it 2 times, it's done. Anyway. But here are the heroes. Instead of the cooldown, it's a one-time use. Looks like the Giant, the Knight, the Musketeer, Ice Golem, the Wizard, the Magic Archer, the Balloon, and the Bowler. Those are going to be one-time use. And honestly, you will hardly ever see them use their abilities twice anyway. So it's not like the biggest problem. They're just simplifying this a little bit more. Once you use it, it's done. But they're going to be buffing some champions. Champions have to complete the heroes and evolutions for a special slot, or have to compete with heroes and evolutions for the special slot. That means most of them struggle to have this significant usage. So as they said, last season, there were only 2 champions among the top 10 heroes and champions. It was Golden Knight and Archer Queen. If you looked at the bottom 10, they were 5 of 10 champions. I don't know why I say champions, but they were underperforming, and now Supercell wants to buff the weaker ones anyway. So let's just kind of take a look at these a little bit. So Little Prince is going to get a buff, and this is huge, guys. This is crazy. So the hit speed, so while moving, you know how once she moves, or once he moves, or whatever the Little Prince is, it'll reset her DPS. You know what I mean, Caleb?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So now it was 0.0 seconds. So right when she moved, literally on the dot, it'll reset. They're giving her 0.3 seconds, like a little cooldown. So once she gets a little step, she will still have that. Or I don't know why I call it she, but it's a he. Once he takes a tiny little step, as long as it's not longer than 0.3 seconds, it'll still have that DPS, that full DPS. So, I mean, I've had it to where it just needed a little bit, move forward just a hair to get it, and it'll fully reset. But now it's going to be a little bit harder to reset. The Goblinstein is going to get the Doctor damage up to 50%. Just the Doctor damage is going up. The Mighty Miner is going to be only a base damage 8% more. And the only reason is that it's going to 2-shot skeletons instead of 3. It's the only reason why they're going to buff that. So, okay, Caleb, this is what I'm waiting for, man. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it. Let's hit it.
Now, these are called experimental reworks. The Evo Witch rework. Are you ready for this, dude? You're going to love this. So, heal per skeleton is going up. It used to heal 53 hit points. It's going to heal 153 hit points. It's going up almost 200%. The max HP for the Evo Witch is going up 27%. But here you go, Caleb. You ready? But here's the buff, or here's the nerf. She only heals by the first 4 skeletons. Once those first 4 skeletons die, she can no longer heal infinitely.
Thank you so much.
Only those 4.
My prayers have been flipping answered.
Okay, but she's going to be healed a ton. Her
That's a lot.
Yeah, each skeleton when it dies, it's giving her 153 hit points. That's almost.
But only 4 of them spawn.
Only 4 of them that spawn are the ones that will heal her. Her max HP is going up 27% even more. So she's going to be pretty tanky, honestly. But
once
those 4 skeletons are dead, I mean, it's done. I mean, she's not going to heal anymore. It's done for her.
That witch is done healing.
Yeah, and they might have to play with this a little bit because I feel like the heal is a little extreme. But I mean, like I said, we'll just have to see.
It may be, but I think there's some. Can she survive a lightning hit or a rocket?
No.
hit?
No, I mean, sorry, no, she can't because she won't have that heal because it takes a little bit of time to heal. You know what I mean?
So you can potentially still fireball an arrow if you had to.
You would have to. Oh, that'd be quick. You'd have to be like boom, boom, probably, because arrows and fireball, fireball will not kill the skeletons or won't kill the witch, but it will kill the skeleton. So it'll. I don't know. You'd have to be really quick. I really don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, this change means that the evolution witch won't be able to keep healing as she spawns more skeletons. Once the internal's 4 skeletons have healed It's no more. So very, very cool. Let's go to the next heal, because this whole subject is endless healing. Some of these unhealthy patterns are related to cards that can heal themselves and survive forever. So that's why they decided to do the Evil Witch. Well, what's another card that heals? Let's go with the Battle Healer. So the damage is going up 38%, which is crazy. The hit speed is going down 6%, so it's just going to hit a little slower. The DPS obviously is going to go a little bit higher because of the damage. Or I'm sorry. No, okay. My bad, guys. No. So the damage is going up 38%. The hit speed is going to go faster. So her DPS is going up 29%, but they're going to drop her HP. Her heal per second, sorry. That's what that HPS means. The radius is going smaller. It's going 25% smaller. So instead of 4-tile radius, it's going to a 3-tile radius. So I don't understand this, but the heal area is going down 44%. So I don't understand this. But Caleb, here's the trigger. No longer heals herself.
Mm.
Not only the battle healer.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Not
She
only
was
did the battle
fine, in my
healer-
opinion.
Not only does the battle healer not heal herself, she will also be unable to heal other battle healers. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's fine with me.
This card's gonna die.
It's crazy. Okay. Check this next one out. The Void. Many of the Clash Royale's higher health range cards can only be taken out by 6 elixir worth of spells. We're looking to rework Void to be the first ever 5 elixir damage spell, and can answer to tankier range units like Bowler, Executioner, and Hunter. So elixir cost, instead of 3, it's going up to 5. The hit speed's going to go down, or sorry, it's going to go faster, 17% more faster. The first target damage is going to go up 105%. The two, what is this? Oh, so one target damage is going up 105%. 2 to 4 unit targeted damage in that radius is going 83%. I don't have to read all this, I guess. But I'm pretty sure, I thought I saw. Okay, this is wild, dude. Okay, 2 to 4 units that are in its radius, 83% more damage. 5 or more targeted damage, 101 damage. So it's like more. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. No, that's not right. But anyway, don't listen to me, guys. Don't listen to me. But anyway, they're going to make the damage 100% more, basically, on every level it doesn't matter how many units are in it. It's going to go back almost 100%. So they're going to double it. They're going to double the target damage as well. Besides the specific interactions, the damage is approximately being doubled, but the elixir cost only increased by 67%. 7. Anyway, from 3 to 5 elixir. This means that the term of raw damage per elixir, Void will now provide better value than before. So, Kayla, what do you think about the Void?
I actually love.
You bugged out.
I said I absolutely love this, and I honestly can't wait to try and just see how this will affect those tankier troops, because that is very interesting.
Very, very. They're going to be looking like they're going to be buffing the Goblin Curse. So this gives Goblin Curses a slowdown mechanic, like the Poison does already. So that's pretty cool. And that's the only thing they're going to be changing. I did not see this, but the Goblin Machine rework. They're going to be changing the rocket speed. The melee speed is going to go up, but the rocket DPS is going to go down, and the rocket speed is going to go down. So it's going to be a lot slower to get to the troops, but the rocket speed is going to go faster, I guess. So okay, Rune Giant getting a buff. So 30% more HP. Enchantment cast time like whenever it's a delay removed, so immediately once you lay it down, it's immediately enchantment to that troop. So yeah. Anyway, then there's Expo. Hunter went over this a little bit. Hunter CR, if you look at him up on YouTube, he talked about the Expo. Expo, he says, is going to get a lot more. It's going to get better. The hit speed is going to be slower, but the damage is up 35%. The DPS is going to go up 1%, and the projectile speed is going up 14%. So I would recommend checking him out because he's a very good Expo player. And he says Expo is going to get really good if they apply that change. So that is all the special changes, Caleb.
Good night.
But what do you think about the special changes, though?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, and every card that I see, I love.
Yeah.
This will change Clash Royale, and I feel like you're saying, in a very good way.
Yeah. I love the spirits.
You and I are alike, so anytime, but way before we were podding it up, you said, dude, I'm really liking it. So anytime you like it, I'm like, I'm going to like it too.
Yeah, true.
You and I are so much alike.
Yep.
But anyways, this is probably one of the by far the best balance change I have ever seen, and it's a lot. And I just really hope they follow through with it.
Well, it's a special changes,
is it, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I am sad but happy at the same time. Like Battle Healer, so glad what she's getting, because she was in a way overpowered and so annoying, but she was fun to play with because it was so annoying.
Yeah.
These little things like that. Void, oh man, there's so much right there. But I think the most exciting one, obviously, is the Witch.
Yeah, the Witch. I knew you'd like it. I read
think
that.
It's like the most genius thing ever. Kill that freaking thing. Hate that thing. Anything that heals, really. I know I just boasted about the Battle Healer, how fun she is, but let me tell you something. When I play Battle Healer, she works for me. But anytime I play Evo Witch, can't get her to work for me.
Yeah,
but then when I go against it, I get melted.
Yep.
It's the weirdest thing ever. Don't understand it.
That is exactly the same way with me with Drill. I get demolished by people playing Drill against me. So I was like, you know what? I'll play Drill. I get killed every time I play Drill. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm super excited about the spirits. I'm super excited about the spirits. I'm super excited about the cooldowns too. Like they're removing the cooldowns on most of the cards. It's going to be more simplified, I guess. It's not like the biggest change, obviously, but I'm excited about the Witch, and I can't wait to see what this Void's going to do. It's pretty crazy, but
no kidding.
Okay, we won't go through everything because this is a lot of work in progress balance changes, and just going through the special balance changes took us about 20 minutes. So we'll just kind of go over them. Number one, looks like the hit speed of the mortar is going to go up 6%, but the hit speed of the Evo mortar is going to go down 15%. Let's see, the barbarians, they're going to get HP buff. The evolution barbarians, the multiplier is going to go down a little bit. The damage on the the damage on the goblins is going to go up 4%. The hero goblins, though, the ability deploy time is going to go a little bit faster. And they're going to spawn, instead of 3, it's only 2 goblins now. So they went to 4 to 3 to 2. So it's interesting. They're going to rework a little bit of the hero ice golem. The third blast effect is going to go down a little bit. I think the slow down. But yeah, anyway. Dang, this is crazy. So the hero minion, the tower multiplier, is going to go down 50%. So I think he's going to be even weaker on the tower if he spawns right by your tower. You know what I mean? Oh, here Mega Knight rework. Oh, this is a Evo Mega Knight rework. So special hits per hit. What the heck does that mean? Hits per hit. 1 of 1 to 2 of 1. Yeah, Caleb, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either, to be honest with you. 2 to 1.
Wait a minute. Could it be, every time he hits, it knocks him back? Could it be to where he has to hit him twice to move them back?
Oh.
Because it says special hits per hit. It was 1 of 1. Now it's 1 of 2.
Maybe you're right.
I think that's what that is. The ability knockback versus heavy troops. Oh, instead of 2.5 tiles, it's going to go to 4 tiles. Wow.
Interesting.
So they're going to push. It's going to knock them back even further. Just the heavy troops, anyway. But it looks like you're going to have to hit them twice to push them back. Ooh, I love that. If I'm reading that right. Interesting. Okay. They're gonna nerf the Evo archers. Dude, I'm telling you what, when we first started this podcast, balance changes was so easy. Now you got to worry about the Evo. You're trying to remember their names. You're trying to do this is Evo. This is the hero. Oh, this is the champion. It's just crazy. It's so much more in depth.
I bet you that I can name, without looking, every single card on the Clash Royale.
Oh, I'm sure you could. I'm just saying, reading these balance changes, it's it makes you really use your brain. Okay, this is Evo. You can't just say Archer, because some of these are Evo Archers. So yeah.
Evo Archers or
Hero. It's just crazy how much the game is involved. But anyway, the power shot of the Evo Archers are going to go down 17%. Looks like. The deploy damage of the Evo Goblin Barrel. It's going to go down a little bit. They're going to nerf that. Looks like they're nerfing the cycle to 1 to 2 on the Evo Cage. The tornado damage per tick on the Evo Valkyrie is going to go down. I'm totally fine with that. I hate Valkyrie. Let's see. Projectile range for the bowler is going to go down. It was 7.5 tiles. Now it's 7 tiles. So that's pretty crazy. And it's the same thing with the Executioner. The range is going to go a little bit shorter, 7% more shorter. So the death damage of the wall breakers, and that's with Evo wall breakers as well, is going to go down 20%. The Evo snowball projectile range is going to go down a little bit. Tombstone damage of the Evo tombstone damage for the dude or whatever is going to go up. Or is that just a tombstone? Oh, Tomb Queen damage is going to go up. So he's going to do a little bit more damage. Or I guess it's a she. Anyway, let's see. I think, is this, I can't really tell. I think this is Evo Minion Horde. The picture's a little weird. Anyway,
Evo Minion Horde.
Invisible hit speed is going to go up a little bit. The Evo. Oh my goodness.
Princess.
The special. Yeah, thank you. The special hit is going to go up a little bit, but the slow down. Yeah. Anyway, you guys can read a lot of these. The spear goblins are going to hit speed, and the bush is going to get an HP a little bit. So there's 22 of these work in progress balance changes. There's just so much. Caleb, I don't know if you're looking at them right now, but what is something is there something that they missed? Is there something that you like about this change? Just kind of looking at these. Is there something that they should add, or what's your thoughts on this? Of the whole work in progress?
The whole work in progress. I love it all. I have yet to be disappointed in one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty fair in my opinion. The only thing that I'm skeptical of is that, do you think now heroes and evolutions are... what's hard for me is champions and heroes. There's no difference. I wish champion would have kept them the same, where you can use the abilities over and over again, and but the hero abilities is a one-time use. I don't know.
Well, I think that's true. they need something. I think they're going to get to that. I don't think it's a
I'm telling you, pets. They need pets.
I agree, dude.
So
I agree.
bad.
I agree.
I think it would be so cool.
I agree. Just for the champions. I agree.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, dude. I really hope I'm right on the Mega Knight because I think it'd be really cool where he has to hit 2 times before it would push back. Or hit, push
I
back
would
a unit.
love that.
I mean, that would make sense because the pushback is going to go up almost double. It's 60% more pushback on the heavy troops. So that would make a lot of sense. So
exactly,
that'd be really cool. But yeah, I honestly, so far, I can't, there's no complaint. I love it all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they're really in a big step, and I really do believe that they are really asking the community. They're really listening. I mean, they can ask the community anything, but if you've listened or not, and I really do believe that they are listening to the community and actually doing something about it. So, alrighty, guys. Finally, one of our favorite topics, actually probably is our favorite topics of the whole lives, I guess. I wouldn't say show because this is the first time you ever did it on the show.
I wouldn't say whole life, but boy, it's been a journey so far.
Absolutely. And guys, this is where we talk. This is called Real Talk. It's going to be a brand new segment. We'll probably do it. We're more than likely going to be doing it every episode. So, and we're going to always do it at the end of the episode. I think this would be like a perfect spot. But yeah, for this Real Talk, we're going to be talking about our testimony and how we got saved and stuff like that. So I don't know, Caleb, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first, but if you don't mind me elaborating some more. So guys,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the Lord has been really like pulling on my heart to find a way for this setup that honestly Dylan has like made and created here of this program that we're in right now about Clash Royale Radio, finding a way to bring the gospel more in and to talk more about God's word. And there's something that in the scriptures that Jesus said, it says to go out and preach to everyone. Mm-hmm. And that's like something that's been laid on my heart. I'm not ashamed about the gospel. I'm not ashamed about my faith, and I'm not ashamed to tell people about it. Somebody once told me, listening to it over on YouTube, but he says, you know what my biggest fear is that whenever I'm in heaven and someone taps me on Caleb, we played ball together. We played Clash Royale together. We talked. And you didn't have the audacity to tell me that this is how human history is going to end. And that really motivated me by like, wow, I need to get to work. Because, guys, I know you're probably listening and you probably think this is whole nonsense. And this is why we're going to tell you about our testimony. And Dylan, actually, I think you need to go first, and here's why. Because you got saved first.
Oh, I got you. Oh, that's a good idea. Good idea.
I'm very curious to hear more of your story, because when you got saved, you and I were enemies. I was I was an enemy to you. You were my enemy, right? You and I weren't close like we are now. Our family, Dylan, was honestly like against you when you got saved, because you completely changed. And I think you need to share your testimony and why you put your faith and trust in Christ.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously I'll share mine as well, but I want you to go.
Yeah,
first,
that's a good idea.
You're the one that got saved. You're the one that actually is the one who changed our family by. Oh, sorry.
For some reason, you're cutting out a lot more.
I was saying that like you're the one that basically started in our family living for Christ fully.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those. I hate to be boastful of myself, so I'm just going to give it all to the Lord. So. Yeah, I mean, praise God. I mean, he really did work through my life. And yeah, I'll start out. I just know I've been talking a lot, so I figured what, I'll let you go first at this segment. But this makes a lot more sense because I did get saved first. And then I was a pretty big role in getting Caleb saved in his very tough time. And I got to tell you guys, Caleb did something 99.9% of men wouldn't have done. I'm just going to say that right now. So that's just a little keep you guys, stay tuned. I mean, you got to listen to Caleb's testimony because it is really good. But anyway, yeah, I'll just take it back to where, in our childhood era, I guess, we grew up, somewhat going to church. I would say we maybe there's seasons that we would go every week, and then there were seasons that we would never go in like 3 months. So we were very inconsistent as a family. I do remember like my parents, especially my dad, he would sit down at the bed at nighttime and we'll read like some Bible or some scripture and stuff like that. But it didn't really stick very long. But I remember going to like some camps. I remember one camp, especially we went to like, or specifically, it was a cowboy camp. I have no idea why we went to a cowboy camp, but it was a, oh really? Yeah. Well, this is with, one of our friends, and they were big into like cowboy stuff. So we were really close to them, and we went with them in this cowboy camp, and it was a Christian cowboy camp. I have no idea. I don't remember anything. I do remember they had like one of those cow things where you ride and you see how long you stay. And I do remember getting baptized, and I do remember, I remember really well getting baptized, like going underwater. And I remember it so well to where I don't know why I was getting baptized. I had no idea. I just knew, you know what? Everybody does it. So, but anyway, I think that was before I hit like 7th grade or something like that. But anyway, we went to a small school, very small school. And I don't know what was really going on with my life then, but I do remember one part of, I think I was a 7th grader. My mom was driving me to basketball practice, and we showed up a little early, and I asked Mom, he's like, I don't even know where this came from. And I don't really remember the drive there and stuff like that. It was pretty far back. But anyway, I just looked at my mom and said, Mom, I just want to get saved. And Mom's like, yeah, sure. And I don't remember any prayer that we did. I do remember us praying, but I don't remember like my heart. I don't remember what I prayed about or anything, but I do remember somewhat praying. And yeah, I think it was just random. I have to talk to Mom about that situation, but I do remember that. But I do know that I did not get saved then, because I knew, like, I didn't know what saved being means. I didn't know what saved meant. So, yeah, going to high school, we went to a different high school, and yeah, nobody in high school was saved. Obviously, I mean, there might have been a few. You would have known, I guess, but I hung out with a pretty bad crowd. Ended up getting a girlfriend in junior high, or sorry, not junior high, but when I was a junior, and I was in this very, very toxic relationship, and yeah, it was not good. And I was only in this relationship because I guess I'll just let you guys know. I mean, it's just, I would say it was sexually. I mean, very young, dumb, whatever, only in this relationship because of that reason. And so it was very toxic. And right when I got out of high school, I had wasted no time moving in with her. And yeah, I remember in my life, Mom, I remember Grandpa, just trying to tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't do this. And I just remember shutting down. Like, I bleeped him out. It was almost like I was possessed. Like, I did not want to hear what anybody wanted to say. I just wanted to get out as fast as I could, just acknowledge them and just go. And that was it. And looking back now, I was like, wow, what a missed opportunity to listen to older people. They have more wisdom. They really do. Mm. And till this day, I honestly, just talking about it now, though, I probably should apologize to my grandpa, because I mean, he was spreading wisdom to me, and he was right. And I was just so young and dumb and just focused on myself. It's very selfish and just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And yeah, I was just so dumb. But anyway, definitely was not saved. I do remember going to church a few times while I was in this relationship. I do remember reading some Bible and stuff, but I just wanted to feel. I know I was sinning, living with a woman, and not married, and so I think I just wanted to feel. I don't even know what the word is, but like just wanted to feel right with God, I guess. If I read my Bible, I'm right with him. If I just go to church once a week, I'm fine. And it's kind of like the works-based situation where like, well, if I go to church every week, if I read my Bible, I'll make it to heaven. I'm good. And that's totally, you're missing out. That's not how to get to heaven whatsoever. You're relying on works to get you there. And that's not at all how you get there. Well, we've been together with this woman for. Not we. I have been together with this woman for.
I was about to say.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been together with this woman for about 4 years. Sorry, this is kind of hard to talk about because, I don't really share it very often, so I'm really trying to remember everything. But it's very, very, very cool though. Anyway, that girl that I had, we've been together for 4 years. She ended up cheating on me with one of my really, really close friends, and obviously did not take that very well. But I'm one of the dumb ones. I still try to get back with her, and we ended up staying together for a little bit. Then I think she ended up, if I remember right, she cheated on me again with that same person, and I was done. I packed up and left. And she tried to get back with me, and I was done. And I was having a really hard time, and I had one of my, I wouldn't say very healthy friends to be in that situation, but
yeah, I agree.
But we went to bonfires, I'm trying to get my mind off of it because, this is pretty serious in my, 4 years in a relationship when you just turned 20 or 19 or something like that. I mean, it's a big deal. You've never been in that relationship for that long. Or I have never been. But anyway, then I remember texting this other girl, and I've texted her before when I've had problems with this girlfriend that I had. And this girl, I texted, and she says, "Why don't you just come over?" So I took my buddy. We drove for about an hour to get to her house. We hung out. We talked a lot. Then I ended up starting dating this girl. So it was actually pretty quick. And it was definitely not a way to date somebody as well. Like, cause I ended up getting this girl pregnant. And that's what we have our son now. And yes, this girl is my wife now, just so you know. But it was not a start that I would like, looking back now, but I was not saved then. I was what you call horny and dumb. And yeah, I just wish I could restart, but honestly, you just can't, and that's totally fine. I'm with peace now. But anyway, I'm at this point where my son just got born. We're not married. Me and my wife were not married at this time, and I remember my son just now getting born, and then my cousin, and I lived in this town in Kansas, and my cousin, I would say his name Bryce, he said, "Hey dude, there's some basketball at this church. You should definitely go." Guys, Caleb knows this. Basketball was life back then. Like, I lived, breathed basketball, and throughout my whole childhood, basketball. I would pressure Caleb so hard to play basketball with me. I don't care if you play for 5 minutes, you're playing with me. But anyway, and so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely go. Well, at this church, before they started playing, they had their youth pastor there. He would preach the gospel, basically. I mean, he had a couple of messages and stuff, but the main focus was the gospel. And that went on for several months. Then I was like, I always knew Christ, and I knew that he died, and I just couldn't grasp of why he died. And I always believed that, like, once you have sinned, you need to pray that you need to pray that for your forgiveness so you can get to heaven, like every time. And that's not the way it works. But anyway, there was this one week where I went to basketball and they had a guest speaker there. His name, the only name I know is Brother Bob. That was what everybody called him, Brother Bob. I'm pretty sure he's passed away now, but I don't remember everything that he said, but I remember his story basically. And his story was mainly that in a young age, he prayed to get saved. And then life went on. And he was saying like, yeah, I was definitely not saved at that age. Then he got quote unquote saved again. But life went on. Nothing changed. He just lived with his life. And then he went to this, I think I forgot exactly what he said, but there was I think he was 22. I think he went to a camp or something like that, and he ended up getting saved, like for real. He knew that Jesus Christ died for his sins, but Jesus also resurrected on the third day. He rose from the grave. He defeated death. And that just opened my eyes. And I don't remember that whole night at all. Besides, like that night went by so quick. And it hit me pretty hard. And I a lot of questions, but we played basketball then. And then I'm one of those guys where I show up, I'm the first one there and I'm the last one to leave. I just want to shoot baskets. I want to play basketball as much as I can. Sorry, Caleb, I don't mean to try to drag this along, but
No. You keep doing exactly what you're doing, buddy.
But anyway, I waited till I was the last one there. And this pastor, we called him Pastor Nate. He was the youth pastor there. And I sat down right by him and I said, Nate, I need to get saved. I know I'm a sinner. And right now I'm on my way to hell. There ain't no way I'm saved. The way I'm living is very sinful. I don't think I said that exact words anyway, but I just knew, I know I said that, hey, I'm a sinner and I'm going to hell. There is no way. And Nate said, yeah, I just pray. How about, and it was kind of a blur. But I prayed out loud and I probably said 5 words. I was so nervous. Had no idea what to pray. And I don't really remember, but it was something like, Lord, I know I'm a sinner, but please save me. And that was it. And Nate kind of told me some things anyway. So it was kind of a long night, but then I went home and before I got in my car, I folded my hands together, knelt down, and I prayed more seriously, like more in my heart. Cause I was with somebody and I was very nervous, didn't know what to say. So I'm on the drive there, on the drive back home, I had more time to think by myself. And I got saved in that car. And I prayed. I said, Lord, I am a sinner. I need your mercy. I know that you died on the cross for me. Or you died on the cross for my sins. And I need you. I need you in my life. I believe that you died on the cross and that you rose again on the third day. You defeated death. And you are alive today. And I asked the Lord to save me that night. And yeah. And I think that night, it was one of the last nights I didn't cuss after that. I'm not saying I don't have any slip-ups or anything, but I'm very strict on like cursing and stuff. And yeah, I had a lot to work, but we don't work for perfection on our walk with Christ. We work for direction. And that's exactly, I mean, I'm not perfect today, but I remember being on fire with the Lord. I remember watching, Living Waters. If you guys don't know who Living Waters, check him out. Look him on YouTube, Living Waters, and just listen to this guy talk to people on the streets about and preaching the gospel. And it blew my mind. And it made me hungry to go out there and preach the gospel. And but yeah, that is essentially my testimony. I got saved. We ended up getting married, me and my wife. My son was 3 months old when we got married finally, and we wanted to clean up our lives. We wanted to do the Lord's will as much as we could, and obviously we didn't. We took our marriage seriously. Like, we didn't want to like just marry because we had a child. You know, we love each other, but yeah, we knew it was the right thing to do. We ended up getting married in like a month after that. It was very, very quick. And, I mean, yeah, cause I took it very seriously. We did not want to live in sin. And, but yeah, that is, my testimony.
Wow. For the record, guys who are still listening, Dylan, that's the first time I heard your testimony fully. That's amazing.
Oh, really?
There's some parts in that testimony, dude, I've never heard before. That was insane.
Wow. Yeah.
That was awesome. Like how you got saved and how specific you went. Like, I thought you got saved with Nate, but you didn't tell me you got saved. No, I went back in the car and I took it more seriously this time. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah. I remember it. I mean, really cool. I by myself, cause in that time I didn't feel like I took it like I was pressured. I not really pressured, but like I said like 5 words. It was not long whatsoever. And I was like, okay, I need to mean it, or I need to say something better than this. So I gave that in that car. I just poured out my heart to God to save me. I'm a sinner. I'm wretched. I have no good works. My works are like rags, filthy rags, not just rags, but filthy rags. There is none good, no, not one, but only Christ. And it just,
amen.
And guys, that is the church I ended up joining for the very first time. And it wasn't a church that we wanted to. With me and my wife, we did not want to go to this church, and the only reason why we didn't want to go to this church is because of the music. It wasn't contemporary enough. It was just hymns, and I got to tell you, we just decided, you know what? Let's just do it. We're going to do it, and I'm going to tell you guys, for people that don't really like hymns is one of the most powerful music, and they bring such a message that contemporary just can't bring. I feel like more contemporary is more of a beat. I'm not saying contemporary is bad, but I'm just saying hymns is just hit another level, and you just got to listen to it to really, I guess, to really know, I guess. But anyway, sorry to rant, but yeah, that's my full testimony.
That's awesome, man. And I got more to say about those hymns because that actually is a little bit part of my testimony. However, I'll try to shorten this up because my testimony is long.
No, dude, we got the time. I'm on your time, dude. I'm fine. We're good.
All right. So you ready?
Let's go for it. Here is Caleb's testimony.
In 2019, I'm going to be a little bit more specific on time variant.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyways, 2019. So Dylan was 100% right. In love with basketball.
Yeah.
And there was so I'm not going to go too far in the background of our family because Dylan already did that. But when I went to college, I'm going to tell you, me and my brother were identical. I remember one time I was very young and I said, I want to be just like my brother, Dylan. And I just followed him. Him and I did the exactly same stuff. We chased girls and we got drunk a lot and we partied.
Yeah.
That was our life.
Yep.
That was our cravings, was all that. We played basketball, sports and stuff like that. We're very competitive in all things, but we drink a lot, party a lot, have fun. You know, that was the life. And that's what I wanted to follow because that's what my brother was doing. And it was fun with my brother.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. In 2019, late 20, whenever we got introduced to this church basketball, and by the way, I took a little bit of a season off of basketball because I was so burnt out. And so it took me a while to get back up and play again.
Caleb was burned out on basketball from high school. He was just very burned out. So it took him a while to play like some open gym and stuff. So
yes. So Dylan's begging me. Like I was in college. Dylan's begging me to go play basketball. And I just graduated. I'm a senior. Okay. Yet again, I believe there was a higher power. I believe that Jesus died for sins, but I had no idea what that meant, right? Mm-hmm. And then 2019, I remember I remember our very first time, and I couldn't believe on me and Dylan's eyes. We looked inside that gym. It was a concrete floor gym. There was a scoreboard.
Yeah, that was when our eyes lit up.
We were like, play. You have no idea how long we've been waiting to play a game that was like high school
with a scoreboard. Right?
Yeah. We missed it. With a scoreboard, like we couldn't believe it. And then we're warming up, and then somebody, this is Rourke, the youth pastor, grabs a Bible and says, "Okay, guys, start sitting down." And me and Dylan look at each other like, "What is going on?" We all sat down, and that's the very first time I heard the gospel. To me, it was very interesting. But Dylan, it hit him differently. It hit him more deeply than it hit me. For me, it was like, okay, that's kind of interesting, kind of cool. Yeah, I got to learn a little bit about God, whatever like that. But for late 2019, Dylan got saved. And I'm not kidding. As soon as my brother that got saved that time, I didn't know my brother no more. And it scared me. He didn't do the things that we used to do together no more. We would play basketball, but that drinking, that partying, his attitude, language, you name it.
Even friends, never hung out with friends anymore.
Even friends. It was so scary. And it felt like cultish, guys. It felt
I can see
cult. That. And when Dylan was really serious about the Lord, my family, I'm not kidding, my family, including me, turned our back on him and started like talking behind his back. I'm like, what is up with this kid? What happened? He's in a cult. I even remember we would have sit down to like gathering and talk about what's going on with Dylan. Like, he was bad, guys.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's for some reason, like once in a while, bug out. So I'm just trying to make it. Make sure you're clear.
Yeah. I'll repeat again. Like we would have sit down togethers as a family without Dylan, and we would talk behind his back of what he was doing, and we would think it was evil stuff. Like, I can't believe Dylan's like doing this. He's going to church. He's trying to be a good Christian. I'm like, why? All of this nonsense. Like, we practically were spitting in his face, and he didn't know about it. It was bad, guys. It was so bad.
Which would kind of make sense because I was still living in sin right when I got saved. So like, I'm trying to go to church, but me and my wife were not married. So yeah, I could see it being a little bit more hypocritical in a lot of eyes, I guess.
Maybe, but you changed.
Yeah.
You were doing the things that you didn't do no more.
True.
And it's brother your entire life, and you know him a certain way. And I'm like, and I remember me thinking like, oh my goodness, the church is the one that changed Dylan. And I would like that. And it took me a real long time that no. Church, it was God. I got a hold of this, of my brother's heart, and Dylan, as he accepted the Lord as a Savior, he was changing.
Yeah.
And he had a fire for the Lord. And you are an outsider. Like, you stand out so bad, bro. I don't want to be like you, And I just didn't know my brother no more. He was nicer. So anyways, and I'm just going to skip a long time here. I won't get too graphic or whatever, but there was, Dylan can remember, Dylan can like definitely tell you guys more because it's more of a blur for me, but I was so mad. Me and Dylan, I would scream at him. The biggest anger moment that I ever had when it came to my brother Dylan, so I was in a relationship during high school. I dated this girl for 4 years. Okay, so me and Dylan kind of have the same
that's crazy
story. Time I was addicted to pornography. I got introduced to pornography very, very, very young, I would feel like. And when you party and when you drink, you tend to see some stuff. And I say I started drinking when I was like 16 years old. But got addicted super quick. Mm-hmm. And to alcohol. Thank goodness no drugs or smoking.
Yeah.
Or no chewing. But definitely alcohol and pornography. Those were my top two. And when I was in this relationship, and it was only with one girl, but like, yeah, you very immoral with her. Sex one in my life. The only thing like sex was the thing I served pretty much. Like I was craving it.
Yep.
And if my girlfriend didn't want to give it to me, pornography would.
Yep.
And so I remember a very point in my life whenever I graduated, and I was still going to this basketball church thing, okay? And I remember making a decision that, like, I want her to move in with me. And this is the time, a little bit after COVID. This is kind of when COVID shook things up. So I know my college in 2019, but in 2020, COVID hit, and by the way, college was way bad for me anyway. So it was actually a God thing that college shut down, because drinking and partying a lot, that went way up when I got to college. So it was a good thing that I stayed away from like that like COVID happened for me.
Yeah.
So that way I wasn't, because I would have stayed in college and I remember a very particular moment where it was late 2020. And I was asking my ex-girlfriend to move in with me.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where I felt like this is the worst I've ever had it, where I was basically like cussing Dylan out. I practically spat in his face. Wasn't realizing that he was actually trying to help me.
You know, it's crazy is that we had the same experience with each other.
Yep. We did.
That's actually, I never thought of that.
Wow. You knew, you lived a lifestyle.
Dude,
and you knew what the outcome was.
We were actually more alike than I thought.
No,
that's crazy.
Yeah, no. I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, wow. You know, because I wanted to be like you. Yeah. Everybody liked you, you know, and so I just followed you. Like as a younger brother to an older brother, I just followed you, you know. Anyways, but Dylan was talking to me. He's like, man, don't do it. Don't have this girl live with you, man. And he tried to explain it to me like, hey, I've been down this road. It doesn't work out, man. And I was mad. Oh, was I mad? I basically called him every word in the book. And Dylan dropped it. Dylan didn't say another thing after that. Our relationship was pretty scratchy. Yeah. We talked, you know, and we hung out here and there, but like, I didn't want him to bring up God. And I hated it even more, like religion, because like of what it was, like the conflict that it was bringing. And then I got even more angry. Like, this is how religion start wars. This is how religion divides everything, including family. Like I was like, I wasn't really necessarily more angry at Dylan. I was angry at God. And for 2 years, I would say this is where I was at war with God. I was just mad. Didn't care. Deep down, I knew that watching pornography, especially having an ex-girlfriend, you guys can look, whether you're not actually doing it with a girl and you're considering like, you're saying that that's not cheating. Let me tell you something. If you're watching pornography if you're watching pornography at all, guess what? It's pretty much cheating. You're imagining that you want that particular girl that you're watching in the same room with you right now. That's pornography. That's what it is. Whether you're dating or not, right? If you're dating, guess what? That's cheating. Just want to throw that out there right now. Well, anyways, for me, obviously didn't think that. And so living with, like, having her moving with me, obviously worst mistake ever, because I was already addicted to pornography. But if she couldn't give me sex, pornography basically helped me through that. So it was bad, guys. I still continued to play basketball, though. I still continued to went to that church, and I kept on saying, like, you know what? I'm just going to muffle out the words of the gospel. It'll just go out one ear, out the other. And I'll tolerate it, you know, whatever. Every time I heard the gospel, you talk about like it was starting to begin more of a sickening feeling. Because, guys, I'm just here to tell you, there's two things that we know that God has written on our hearts. Number one is we know that he exists. And I want to, like, in a different episode, I want to diagnose on, like, how do we know that God exists? You can't put him in a test tube, but you can see the effects out there. You can see, take the universe. That's all you need. How fine-tuned the universe is and how perfect it is.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution destroys itself by the very first thing, what they start in the beginning. There was nothing, then there was something. Yeah. That has never happened ever, right? So that's number one. We know that there's a higher creator that created this whole entire universe. And number two, he created what is called the moral law. And guys, I am living proof. I knew that watching pornography was wrong. No one needed to tell me that it wasn't. Mm-hmm. I knew that, honestly, living with my girlfriend and not being married, guess what, was wrong. How did I know that deep down? Because I had a moral law. I knew it was wrong. But I did it anyways because I wanted to be in control of my own life. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do my own thing. In other words, I wanted to become my own God. Right? Mm-hmm. Thinking that this is the thing that's going to make me the most happy. And in fact, it was the one thing that was driving me further down in depression, loneliness. Even though I was living with a girl, I was super depressed. You have no idea how rock bottom I hit. It was bad. It was really bad. Anyways, and as I continue to watch this, like to hear this gospel after like going to basketball and stuff like that, and Dylan was a huge help as well because we worked together for a time. And Dylan was like, he was feeding me bits and pieces, but he knew every time like he brought Jesus up or God up, it immediately triggered me. Which, by the way, kind of proves it also is the truth. By the way, just want to throw that out there. Mm-hmm. Anyways, and there was a small moment where like I felt like, oh, I got saved, and I tried to play it off just so that they would kind of get off my back in a way, and just like, hey, it never worked out. I don't know if you remember that, Dylan, but anyways.
Not really. I just remember the night you got saved.
Gotcha. So for 2 long years, I was just watching pornography. I'll tell you my life. Watching pornography, having sex with my girlfriend whenever she was willing to give it to me. I was working. I was drinking still at the time. And I was playing basketball. There's my life. And I was miserable. Uh-huh. We lived in an apartment, and I did not care if I lived in that apartment for my entire life. I had no goals set. I was horrible with finances. I didn't care how much money I made or how much I saved up. I used it every time I had it. I was a little boy, not a man, tiny little boy living in an apartment, treating my girlfriend like a mother, because she's the one that cleaned everything, did my laundry. I mean, she was a maid. That's all she was. And sex was number one in my entire life. And I was unbelievably miserable. Never been so miserable, honestly, right, in my entire life until those moments. And I remember those moments of how miserable I was, right? Mm-hmm. And anything that the world gave me that I thought that it was like going to give me comfort and satisfaction, nope. Didn't feel that empty hole in me that like of carrying that depression, that loneliness and stuff like that. And I kept on getting like more rock bottom, and it was up to a point where I was absolutely like just done.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing was wrong. It finally overwhelmed me. There was just one night in basketball. Dylan, am I sounding good, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you're good. You're great.
Oh, awesome. So I knew it was in August. It was in August, and I was super miserable. My ex-girlfriend Her and I didn't honestly agree on to a lot of things. Like again, Dylan, you and I are super like the only reason why I dated her and stayed with her. Guess what? Sex. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Really,
Yep.
that's what it was.
Yep.
And my family did like her. I mean, she did have a good, nice. Like she was nice, and
Yeah.
respectful and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
sex was number one in that entire book. Like I didn't care about anything else but that. That's the only reason why I wanted her to move in with me. That's the only reason why I even was with her.
Mm-hmm.
And her and I didn't agree on a whole lot. We really didn't.
Yeah.
We actually had a lot of fights. And it was getting worse because for a little time, I was started watching a little bit of film about, about film with God and stuff like that. And she did not like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had no answer. Pornography was not helping me no more. Having sex with her was not helping me no more. I did not know what to do. And so I was really like, I wouldn't say I was like suicidal at all, but man, I was like looking for an answer, looking for help. Because I knew what I was doing was very wicked, very wrong. I lied to my ex-girlfriend and practically told her like, no, I'm not watching pornography behind her back. And somehow she didn't realize it. Like it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And how I was treating her was really bad. I treated her like a maid. It was awful. I hope I never treat anyone like how I treated her. Like it was bad. I hope I never treat my wife that way. It was awful, guys. So I'm in this at basketball and stuff like that, and Nate, I don't even remember the message, but dude, Nate preached a hard message where it scared me. It shook me. And I knew it's somehow all connected to where like, oh my goodness, he's talking about me. It looked like he was talking directly at me. Nate was. And I just knew that if I died, I was immediately going to hell. And I was so scared because I just felt like, honestly, I was the only one who was struggling with pornography. Like no one can help me. No one is this addicted like I am. No one has ever had this problem like I have. And so I was really terrified a little bit. And I was also still like super skeptical of the church still, because I kind of thought still it was a cult.
Mm-hmm.
But how he preached the gospel that night, oh man, it just like, it really opened my eyes. And it started to, like, you talk about the Lord knocking on my door and just stir in my heart like crazy. And it also helped that Dylan was starting to pitch in at work a little bit. Like he was sending me some stuff, even though I didn't like it. He was sending me some stuff when we were carpooling together to work. He was telling me about his life, about how Christ is and stuff like that. Like it was a stirring. And by the way, if it wasn't for my brother Dylan, like I wouldn't have got saved. He worked so hard on me to try to get me saved. And he just loved on me and loved on me and loved on me. And then what I do, honestly, I spat in his face. And he didn't change. He just loved on me. And I just couldn't believe his character. And his character changed a lot for me just by watching Dylan, And it took me a while to realize, like, it wasn't the church that changed Dylan. It was God. God completely changed this man's life. And it was incredible. Anyways. So that night, it's just, I waited till everyone left. And it's just me, Dylan, and Nate. And Dylan did this on purpose. Like he was like, hey Kayla, you just stay afterwards. And so just so I can get to know Nate really well, right? Mm-hmm. Dylan and Nate became really good friends when Dylan got saved.
Yeah, we got pretty close.
Yeah. Anyways, and so Dylan would always stay late, and I became pretty good friends with Nate for a little bit. And I started to get a little bit comfortable. And so at this night, when he preached a really good message, I finally was able to like ask a couple questions to him. And Dylan was there. And Nate's like, okay, let's go to Dairy Queen. So we went to Dairy Queen.
I was getting ready to say, where did we go? Because I know we went somewhere.
Yeah, we went to Dairy Queen.
That's right.
And we talked a little bit. And I'm asking these weird questions about church. And he's answering them for me. And they're dumb questions, guys. They're like, how many services do you have? What time do you start? I mean, like, it was weird questions, okay? And it didn't get really serious up until we rode back and we got back into the parking lot at the gym. And I'll always remember this. I'm in the front seat, shotgun seat. Nate's in the passenger seat in his car. Dylan's in the back seat. And Nate is ripping question after question, and I'm trying to answer him like what do I believe, and stuff like that. And then I would ask some pretty good questions, like hard questions and stuff like that, and he would answer them and stuff like that. And I basically kind of became open with him. I'm like, man, I am struggling. And I think Nate, like, if you guys get to know me more, if you like hung out with me, I wear everything on my face. So if I'm having a bad day, you're
gonna see it. Oh yeah.
That's so you. Nate knew that something was wrong with me. He knew that I was pretty depressed. And so Nate already had like a leverage to that by saying, hey, what's going on? I'm here for you, man. I'm praying for you. I love you. I care about you. And I knew he did. And at that point, I just became open with him. I told him, which I never told anybody. I didn't even tell my parents this as much as I told Pastor Nate that night. I just told him everything that I'm doing, and I know it's wrong. And I said, I was just really broken. I was depressed, and I was just looking for something. And honestly, I was looking for a savior, a helper, someone who can get me out of this mess that I was in, get me clear and cured from addiction. And that answer was Christ. And Nate, that night, it was a very long night, Nate led me to the Lord. And that day, I got saved. Nate showed me through the Romans road. And I prayed, and I just knew that obviously I was a wicked sinner. But Nate described it in such a good way of showing that, Caleb, he came and he took all that sin, every sin that you committed, every bad thing you did, and he put it on his shoulders. And he died for you. Not just for your past and present sins, Caleb, but also your future. And once you are saved, you are always saved.
Yep.
And that was the night that I put my faith and trust into Christ. And obviously, things didn't change right away. Yeah. But you talk about a weight, guys, a weight that just lifted up that I can't describe. And it was, I felt like it was just the weight of my sin just being released, And, but very quickly though, I developed a very strong fear because now I had to go tell my ex-girlfriend that I got saved, which she did not understand.
Yeah, she didn't believe at all.
And how that we can't live together no more because this is sin.
Yeah.
And she honestly was not okay with that. And so Nate and I and Dylan in the back seat, after I just got saved,
this was
trying to diagnose and work out of how we're going to deal with this situation because this is not good. Yeah. You can't live with her no more, right? And by the way, being a brand new Christian that day and hearing that at the same time was not great because it built a lot of fear in me. I'm like, oh my goodness, this sucks.
Yeah, and there were some long nights after once you got saved.
Let me tell you something. I'm an idiot, but how whenever I get emotional, I can't just go to bed. I got to get it out of me, right? And Nate was saying, Caleb, don't wake her up if she's asleep. By the way, it's super late. It's 11 o'clock at night. She's already in bed. And he's like, dude, try to get some sleep. Don't wake her up and tell her this. Give her some time. Wait till tomorrow and stuff like that. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. I went upstairs into our apartment and I woke her up and I talked to her about everything. We didn't sleep. That was a very long night. She was so heartbroken, just bawling, because she just didn't understand what happened. I'm going to fast forward. I went through 2 months.
Yeah,
working with her and honestly sharing the gospel with her the completely wrong way. Pretty much forced her. But I begged her, just come to church with me.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't do it. And I'm not going to tell her about her history. She had a very rough history, guys.
Mhm.
And I know this for a fact because she texted it to me when we broke up. She said, Caleb, I can't follow your religion because of my past.
Yeah.
And what she went through is something that I cannot imagine because, well, I still have my dad. He's still alive. And I haven't, lost any of my parents yet. So I don't know what it's like. And you're kind of picking up what I'm, putting down. And so she lost one of her parents when she was very young, and it devastated her. And she's and I think a lot of people are like this, where they'll blame God, saying, if God is all loving, all good, all knowing, why does he allow evil and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I would love to answer that question for you. Me and Dylan would. Tune in to the next episode, because I want to talk about those hard, tough questions and why we put our full faith and trust in Christ, and why we find him reliable because of what the evidence supports.
Yeah.
It's not just about faith, guys. There is some physical evidence out there, world history evidence, that proves that God does exist, and the Bible is 100%, not 90, not 99, 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible is not a fairy tale book. It is a collection of 66 books put together over 40 different authors that never met each other, and they're all saying the same thing, which is mind-blowing.
Yep.
It's a history book of eyewitness testimonies. And if you read the four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you will see these eyewitness testimonies who walked with Jesus, and they died for what they saw. Not died what they believed, died horrible deaths by what they saw. And they said they saw. Over 500 witnesses say they saw Jesus died and was buried, and he rose from the dead.
Yep.
Over 500 witnesses. Guys, don't take my word for it. Read through the Bible. You try to prove it wrong, because guess what I did? When I was at war with God for those 2 long years, I tried reading God's word and tried to prove it wrong. Couldn't do it. Dylan remembers those conversations. I bet I was yelling at and screaming at him about the God's word and stuff like that. Couldn't prove it wrong. I had no leg to stand on. I had nothing. I could no smart. You find the smartest person ever in the world, and try to prove the Bible wrong. You can't. Many people's tried over hundreds and thousands of years.
Yep.
Explain that. Anyways, I'm gonna move on next. Anyways, so after I got saved for 2 long months, not kidding, 2 long months, I was battling with I literally told God, like, hey, you can have everything that you want, you can have my life, but you can't have this relationship. I do remember saying that to him. I also remember saying, like, to my ex-girlfriend, by saying, like, hey, there's a way we can live with each other without doing the act, pretty much. And I said, and basically I was hyping myself up, like, here's how I'm going to live now. I'm going to stay with her. I'm going to go to church still, and she's going to see the change in me, and she's going to see it as a good change. This is my plan, by the way, my own thinking. And she's going to want to follow me, right? Guys, after day 1, I didn't go to church at all for 3 weeks. No. She was an anchor.
Yeah.
And she was sending me down further and further into sin. And I was still addicted to pornography.
Yeah. I mean, it's an addiction. I mean, you just gotta.
Yeah. I put my faith and trust into Christ. I knew who Jesus was and what he died for. And I put my faith, and I believed it, right?
Yeah.
But I let fear enter into me. I didn't want to lose this relationship because sex was still number 1 at that time. Brand new Christian. And I was pretty much forcing the gospel right down her throat. You can definitely see how this is going. And so she really, really is angry at God and really angry at me. And she's more now not even close to becoming a believer because of me and what I was trying to do. So anyways, I stayed living with her after I got saved for 2 months. No change. Not one single change. But during those 2 months, you talk about God continuing like to stir my heart more and more. And Nate and Dylan kept tabs with me and stuff like that. Like, hey, what's going on, bud? And I felt like I was in the middle. It didn't help that my parents was telling me like, Caleb, go ahead and marry her. Just go ahead and marry her in this whole thing and move on, bud.
Yeah.
And I had Nate and Dylan, the only people in my life who were telling me the truth by saying, no, you need to do what God says to tell you what to do. And they were the only ones who were willing to tell me the truth. I'll always remember this moment as well. This is another moment that really just matured me. And this is where I took sin a lot more serious. And I remember one Monday, I am such a hypocrite, still am. I remember going to work with Dylan one time, and we worked with our dad as well at that time. And dude, you talk about a bad attitude. Like, he had a pretty sour attitude that day.
Who?
And I was really disappointed in him and his attitude.
Who was?
And so I remember one Monday night, I was gossiping to Nate about how bad my dad's attitude was. And Nate, which was hilarious to me now, Nate comes up and he says, hey, let's have a Bible study about that. And let's talk about that. And I'm like all perky, like, oh yeah, let's do it. Like, yeah, we're going to change my dad now. That's literally what I was thinking. And that day when I went to his house for the first time, by the way, met his family, super nice family, and thinking that we're going to talk about my dad. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about my dad. We were talking about me and my sin situation.
Yeah.
Oh, Nate remembers this moment. You go and you try to find him. Like, Dylan, if you try talking to him, hey, do you remember this time? Oh, this was hard for Nate as well.
Mm.
And I will always remember this night. And Nate was basically shooting me straight. And I respected it so much because it's exactly what I needed to hear. And he was basically telling me how toxic this relationship was. He was basically telling me straight up that, like, you are destroying your relationship with God with this relationship that you have. It is killing you.
Mm-hmm.
You're just sinking down into sin and more sin and more sin. And he says, you need to make a choice right now. You either get all serious about Christ or don't serve pretty much Christ at all. And it was heavy.
Yeah.
He says, you need to cut this off. This is destroying your life. And that was really hard to hear. It really was. And he said, and that was a very long night. That was like 2 hours long, by the way, that meeting was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exactly what I needed. And it didn't like break my heart, but it broke my heart in a way, but it also motivated me by saying, you know what, Nate, you're right. Because I was still addicted to nothing changed, and I was still miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I was still pretty miserable, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. I need to take more sin more seriously. I am playing with fire right now. I'm just using God's mercy, grace, and forgiveness. I'm just taking that all for granted, and I need to be more serious about sin and what He did on the cross for me. 3 days go by, and I'm sitting here, and by the way, my ex-girlfriend did not want me to go to this meeting, by the way. I did tell her, hey, we're going to have this Bible study. We're going to talk about this and stuff like that, but she didn't want me to go. Because I was talking about a little bit like, hey, here's what Nate's been saying, been preaching and stuff like that. And then whenever I told her that I got saved and I said, like, He led me to the Lord, He opened to the Word of God. And she directly like saying like, okay, now you're in the cult. I kind of knew what she was thinking.
Yeah.
So she did not, which it did make sense of the reason why she didn't want to go to church with me, because she thought it was a cult. Same way that I thought. So anyways, 3 days go past after that meeting, and my heart, dude, you talk about like, my heart was just like, God was really just pulling the crackers out of me to do it, man. Break up with her. And so her and I are we're back to not really okay again. Because over those 2 months long, we were kind of going back to where things were. And now all of a sudden, after, off and on talking to her a little bit about some stuff, we were kind of now we're not okay. I remember this plain as day. I go out of the apartment and I'm at the breaking point of tears. And I am shaking because I just felt like breaking up with her would be the end of the world. Like I was that type of a baby about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was panicking. I was scared. I was terrified. And I think the first person I called, I think it was either you, Dylan, or Nate.
I knew you called a lot though. No, I wouldn't say a lot, but there were some nights you called and you were broken down and.
Yeah. So anyways, I called Nate, I think first, and I'm panicking. I'm like, Nate, I'm about to do it. I got to break up with her. The Lord is motivating me. I've been praying about it a lot and stuff like that. I got to do it. It's destroying, and, trying to remember. And Nate was just I don't remember at all about what you or Nate said. And Nate was just encouraging me. I knew that. That's all I knew. Nate was encouraging me and stuff like that. And actually, Dylan, I do remember the first thing you said to me. I called you and you said, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "Dylan, I've been praying a lot." And Dylan's like, "Before you continue, I am just so glad that you're praying now."
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah. Anyways, and then, and Dylan, I talked to Dylan and I said, "Get the air mattress ready. I'm going to get my bags packed and prepare for me to come over." Because I couldn't stay at that apartment no more. There was a point in the time where I hated living in that apartment. I just hated being in that environment. Yeah. It was so weird.
Yeah.
After that night, that meeting, it's just I hate this. I hate everything about it. I don't know how to get out. It felt like prison almost. It wasn't like she was keeping me captive or anything. I think I was just starting to finally hate sin. And and I was starting to realize how destructive it was and how it was just killing my relationship with Christ. And anyways. And after I got off the phone with you and you were getting stuff, she's coming out the door and she's saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And I didn't want to tell her outside. I said, "Let's go inside." And I set her on the bed and I basically kind of told her in a way that I basically went on this kind of huge rant. Never yelled at her, but I went on this huge rant about you really hurt me whenever I for some reason I went this route, but you never just even tried to come to church and try out and just see what I found. No, you quickly judged it right away. And it was a little bit of a hypocritical move because I was doing the same thing to Dylan, and stuff like that. But I was just I was just basically telling her, I just wanted you to come one time and just see what I see. Mm. And I said, you hurt me in that. And I said, but I basically kind of said, I can't do this no more. You and I are completely on different paths now. Yeah. I was bawling. She was crying and bawling. And I said, we're done. I have to break up with you because you and I are just, we're not going to work out. And then I said, I'm going to my brother's. And then she says, I'm going home. I said, okay. And that was the last thing I ever said to her.
Yeah, that's tough.
This was the second longest night of my entire life.
Yeah.
I go to Dylan's and I'm just broken at this point, thinking at first, it's I just ruined everything, pretty much. I think I ran out of tears. And it just took a lot of time for me to, basically to just get over that relationship and stuff like that. there was some point in time where like she blocked me on everything except for me texting. She blocked me on Snapchat. I deleted Snapchat and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
but
did I.
I did text her. And I said, and I was like, in a way, trying to get back together with her, kind of, because I was still addicted to stuff.
Yeah, right.
And I was trying to get back together with her a little bit by saying, like, I want to love you the right way. I can't remember what I sent to her and stuff like that. And I'll never forget what she texted me. And this is the last time we've ever communicated. And she said, "We just don't work no more." And I'm so glad she said that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But in that time,
That hit hard.
I hit pretty hard. Yeah. Right whenever she texted me that, and I just melted to the floor and just bawled, Kendra came in the door of my apartment and just hugged me. And I'll always remember that moment. And man, guys, it was so bad. So I stayed in that apartment, and she moved, and I went to work because I didn't want to stay there. I went to work, and when I came back, all of her stuff was gone. My apartment was pretty empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I reorganized some stuff and cleaned up my apartment and stuff like that. And I didn't sleep in that bed. I didn't go to my bedroom for a very long time. It took months for me to finally walk back in my bedroom and like be comfortable there. I slept a lot of nights on my couch, trying to get used to the apartment because there was just a lot of memories there and stuff like that. It took a long time. But I stayed there because I tried to look at other places and they were just really expensive. This was the cheapest place for me. And I'm like, I'm going to stay this. I'm going to fight it out. And I as soon as I broke up with her, man, I was like, I stayed faithful because I had two men in my life at that time who were keeping me super accountable by making sure I was doing okay, making sure that my walk with Christ was good. And it was amazing. And I was Dylan and Nate at the time. I got plugged into the church that Dylan obviously got plugged in at first. And me and Dylan, we were finally like super close again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the only piece that was missing. And and the more obviously I learned more about Christ, and the more I was understanding what Dylan was trying to do for me.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to change my life for him. He was trying to watch out for me, saying, don't make the same mistakes that I did. But I was so stupid and I was so blind and so prideful of how I wanted to run my life. He was just looking out for me.
And I was the exact same way. I was the exact same way.
Yeah. And so Dylan, whenever you said I need to apologize to Grandpa, buddy, I need to apologize to you if I haven't. By
I'm sure you have.
Wicked I was towards you, how I disrespected you, how I screamed at you, spat in your face. Like the things that I have done to you, I am so sorry. Yeah. All you were trying to do is be a loving brother to me and trying to look out for me and point me in the right direction. And I just basically cursed you out, man. Yeah. And I apologize. That's one thing. That's one of the things that I will forever regret is not listening to my brother whenever he took the speck out of his eye and he was just trying to help me out to take the log out of mine. He was trying to lead me where the bread was. He was a beggar who was trying to find bread. He was just trying to show another beggar where the bread was. And I was a beggar. And so, guys, basically that's my testimony. And let me tell you something. I cannot put it in the words of how God gave me a second chance at another relationship. I botched the first relationship and I've taken so much things for granted and stuff like that for how merciful God is and how loving he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fears the Lord. And who loves me. And by the way, she knows everything about my story. Nothing is hidden from her. And the fact that she is willing to take that baggage on, what a trooper.
But yeah, guys, not every segment like this will be this long, but we just wanted to reach out and tell us our story and how our testimony of how we got saved, and yeah, we just kind of start from there. I mean, I think we're going to do this every episode. It's called Real Talk, and yeah, we'll just talk about real things, more serious things than just a video game.
Absolutely. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I have too. We just, yeah.
Yeah.
We were thinking about maybe, starting another podcast, but then that costs a little bit more money. But it's like, you know what? Let's just use the platform God handed out, made us, and let's use that. So that's what we were doing today.
Yes, I do love the game, but guys, the more I start to have a closer relationship with Christ, the more I don't love the game no more. I want to talk about Christ. And that's another reason why I think God has motivated me and really pulling on me. I'm like, man, like, I need to share his truth.
Yep.
It's because, guys, I do care about you guys, all of you, everyone that's listening. I do love you. I do care about you. And I just pray and hope that you guys just don't take this necessarily for granted. Really search and find out what the truth is. You can find it.
Yep.
And a lot of times, guys, I know it's not a head problem. It's a heart problem. You don't want it to be true because you want to become the rulers of your own life and stuff like that. Guys, we had the exact same experience. We just shared our testimonies.
Yep. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, if the guys are listening, if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want us to talk about or any of on the Real Talk side of things, just comment it down below. You guys can text in the show as well. And yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next one.
Rah, rah, roo.